staring out into the blue on a dreamboat setting sail, spinning a Grimm's Brothers yarn to catch a ferry by the tail, barking a fable, out in a song, Rufus the dog get along. As long as I'm able, as long as they write, Rufus the dog will recite. Get along, little Rufus, get along, little Rufus. This mooch has got get go on this here puppy show. Yeah.
Oh, hi there. Hi. Glad you can make it here. I was just indulging in a little treat. You know, I love these things. I could eat them all the time. In fact, sometimes I think I'd be happy eating dog biscuits and nothing else. Of course, I know that's not true. I like to eat a healthy, balanced diet. Keeps my coat shiny. Well, and our story today is about Hansel and Gretel, and they didn't know that. Well, not about the shiny coat. I mean, about the balanced diet. And well, let's just read the story and find out what I mean, shall we? Yep, here we are. Hansel and Gretel. Oh, you're gonna love this. Once upon a time, long time ago, there were two children, a boy named Hansel and his sister Gretel. I'm Hansel.
Yeah, and I'm Gretel.
Yeah. They lived with their father and stepmother in a little house at the edge of a forest. Their father was a woodcutter, and they were very poor. Their stepmother planted a small garden in which she grew vegetables for them to eat. Contrary to popular myth, their stepmother was not wicked. In fact, she was very concerned that despite their poverty, Hansel and Gretel should grow up healthy and strong. She tried very hard to get the children to eat their vegetables every day. The problem was, vegetables were all they had to eat, and Hansel and Gretel did not like to eat vegetables. Ah, yuck! Not cabbage again!
I hate cabbage.
Yeah, cabbage sucks.
Oh, look, kids, your stepmother works very hard in the garden to grow decent food to fill your stomachs. It's tasty if you just give it a try.
We tried it yesterday.
Yeah, and the day before that.
And the day before that.
Okay, point taken. A little cabbage goes a long way. But look, you two do this at every meal. How do you think your stepmother feels? You're gonna hurt her feelings. She tries her best for you kids.
Blech.
Blech, patwee.
Tweet. Hansel and Gretel thought their stepmother was rather evil because she insisted that they eat vegetables. They decided to leave their home and see what was on the other side of the woods. Perhaps they would find a way to help their family earn money to buy food other than vegetables. Food like cookies, candy, and other sweets. Whoa, it's very dark.
Yeah, and spooky. Are you sure this is a good idea?
Well, hey, do you want to eat cabbage every day for the rest of your life?
No way. Let's go.
All right, come on, this way. They walked and walked through the deep, dark woods. And as the sun rose, they became less frightened and more hungry, for they had not eaten their supper the night before. Eventually, just as they thought they'd be able to go no further from hunger, they spied a cottage in a small clearing. It was a wonderful cottage made of sweet food, cookies, candies, and desserts of all kinds.
Look at this place.
Wow.
And it's built so weird.
Yeah, it's got an interesting architectural style, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
What is this place?
I don't know, but it's making me drool.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that's what you call an all-day sucker.
Yeah.
Now there lived in this cottage an old woman. When she heard the ruckus outside, she came to investigate.
Hey, you kids! Oh, how many times do I have to put up with this? It's always the same thing. Kids show up out of nowhere. They think they can just eat me out of house and home. Oh.
Uh-oh. Now, the old woman was not the most attractive of ladies, and the clothes she wore were old and shabby. Hansel and Gretel immediately jumped to conclusions. Oh, you're a witch!
Hey, you say that like being a witch is a bad thing. There are lots of good witches, you know.
But you look like a bad witch.
Yeah, like in the stories.
Well, I'm not a bad witch. I'm not a witch at all. Not that there's anything wrong with being a witch. A good witch, anyway. Hey, who do you think you are, waltzing in here, tearing apart my home?
I'm Hansel.
I'm Gretel.
Well, how nice for you. What are you doing here?
Oh, our family is very poor, and we did not have enough to eat.
Yeah, well, not enough good things to eat. Too much cabbage.
Yeah, so we came through the woods to see if we could find jobs.
Yeah, or at least better food.
Well, I'll tell you what. You two come stay with me, do a few chores around the house, and I'll give you all the sweets you can eat, and more.
Really? Okay, I think that sounds like a good deal. What do you think, Hansel? Shall we go?
Yeah, okay, but I still think you're a witch.
Listen, you. Respect your elders. Come on. For chores and such, I've little time to toil and fuss. Of grit and grime, I'm quite content to sit and relax while others break their backs. For labor at a tiny price, I found a source that will suffice. Those kiddies are cheap as they get, like Marie Antoinette. Just let them eat cake, enough so they'd burst. And when they finish the work, they'll get their just desserts.
Gretel, do you think that she'll settle? I've been working all day without pay. Will I slave to the grave on the roads that I'll pave? Oh, won't somebody save me?
Hansel, do you think that you'll cancel? I'm all out of hustle, so call in the muscle. The deal was a meal, but I think she's reneging. Somebody help me, I'm down on my knees here begging.
Clean that up, you out. I can't leave this. Groveling, griping, sniveling squirts. You'll get your just desserts, so let them eat cake. Enough so they burst. And when they finish the work, they'll get their just dessert. They'll get their just dessert.
And so as time passed, the old woman put Hansel and Gretel to work, fixing the damage they had done to the outside, cleaning the chimney, baking more sweets, and generally keeping the place clean.
Why don't you use your witch powers to clean this place?
Stop calling me a witch. Not that there's anything wrong with being a witch, if I was, but I'm not. And, bring me another brew, will you?
In return for their labors, the old woman kept her promise and fed Hansel and Gretel platefuls of pies, cakes, cookies, sticky buns, and other assorted sweets.
Stop! No more cakes!
Well, if I see any more desserts, I think I'll woof my cookies. Hansel and Gretel didn't want to eat anymore, but the old woman forced them to stay and do her work. One night, they tried sneaking out of the house to run away back to their home. Come on.
Aha! I caught you. Thought you'd run out on me, did you?
Oh, man, what gave us away?
Next time, try losing the clogs, Sonny. They may be fine for tap dancing, but quiet, they are not.
They tried pleading with the old woman. Oh, please, let us go. We promise we won't eat your house again. In fact, we've had enough sweets.
Yeah. Haven't you ever tried eating something healthy? Like a nice salad or a broccoli casserole.
What? Vegetables? But you told me you hated vegetables.
Well, hate is pretty strong.
Not as strong as day-old cabbage.
Yeah, it's not really that bad, I guess. It's just that eating the same stuff every single day, well, you get tired of it.
Well, I know what you mean about that. One can only eat so many cream puffs before you start to feel like one.
Yeah, and look like one, too.
Hey!
Sorry.
You know, if you used a little less sugar and a little more yeast and a few grains, you'd have a really tasty bagel.
Bagel?
Yeah, that's it. Diversify.
What?
You know, make different things, more variety, mix it up a bit. Make more than just gooey sweets.
Well, I think you may have something there.
Yeah, well, I'll bet if you expanded your line of baked goods, you'd acquire a broader market share and increase your clientele.
What?
Make more kinds of things and more people will buy them.
People would buy my baking?
You mean you haven't tried selling your sweets at the market?
Well, no, Do you suppose I could?
Are you kidding? What? Just take these hotcakes of yours. Oh, they're so good. Well, they'd sell like hotcakes.
And so Hansel and Gretel came to understand the old woman a little better and found that they liked her. She liked them too once they stopped being rude and greedy. She even wanted them to stay with her, but she knew they belonged with their family. But Hansel and Gretel did not know how to find their way home, so the old woman packed up a cake and a bag of cream puffs and took them through the forest back to their cottage.
When at last they reached their home, Hansel and Gretel thanked the old woman and promised to visit her.
Oh, I'd love to have you. But next time, check with your parents before you come in. Make sure you leave a trail of stones or something so you can find your own way back. My feet are killing me.
Hansel and Gretel's parents were both very worried when their children disappeared, and when they returned, they greeted them with open arms.
Oh, I'm so glad you two are safe and home again.
Oh, yeah. Now I have someone to share my cabbage with. I missed you both so much. Do tell us about your adventure.
Hansel and Gretel came to realize that their stepmother was not wicked or evil. Just like the old woman, she was simply misunderstood.
And from that day on, Hansel and Gretel helped out in the vegetable garden every day. In fact, they grew so many vegetables, they were able to sell the extras at market to buy other kinds of food. The whole family enjoyed the variety.
In addition to selling their extra vegetables at the market, Hansel and Gretel also shared them with the old woman. They visited her regularly, bringing fresh produce for her. She herself had indeed diversified her baking and enjoyed experimenting with her recipes.
And here's a rutabaga pie for you and your family.
Rutabaga pie?
Just kidding. It's boysenberry.
And everyone ate healthy and lived a long and happy life. The end. Now that's a story you can really sink your teeth into. Yeah, Hansel and Gretel were lucky things worked out so well. I guess sometimes you don't really appreciate what you have until you don't have it anymore. Then you miss it. Well, wouldn't it be great if we could all realize that without going through all that trouble? Then again, Hansel and Gretel never would have met that old woman and become her friend. Yeah, and you can't always tell what someone's really like until you get to know them. Well, I hope you can come again to the bookshop and get to know me a little better. We can share some more books. I may even share some of my dog biscuits with you. Would you like that, dog biscuits? Just a joke. Well, see you next time. Bye.